You know, I'm almost sorry that people don't get their money's worth with this guy because he's just so sweet. You're not going to see him hooding up and going crazy. He hoods up, but you're not going to see him going nuts like on other YouTube channels because he just wants to put his head down and just chill with his dad. That's what he likes to do. What can I tell you? You know, we're not here trying to prove anything crazy, except one thing, which isn't crazy, which is that it's completely possible to form a genuine bond with these guys. I don't care what anyone says. I know this to be true. Once you get past the fear and he gets past the fear, then there's a potential for anything. And use any word you want, but this is why I do it. This right here. Having a forest cobra from Africa putting his head on my hand like this. This is why I do it. Having a little baby growing up knowing that he's not going to have fear, you know. That's why I do it, just to feel the potential for something beginning here. It's a wonderful feeling, and people always whine about the risk. People who don't understand, they'll never understand. They never understood that. I'm doing this 45 years with, like 100 venomous snakes a day. I don't need people telling me I'm going to get bit soon. It's inevitable. We all know how this ends. R.I.P. You should see the garbage I read every single day. It's like Chandler. He got bit, right? But what about all the thousands of times he didn't get bit? Everyone comes down on that kid like he's a piece of garbage. He got bit. He's the one that got hurt. So why is everyone making it seem like they're the ones that are hurt by it? He had it coming. No one has it coming. And, I saw the mistake that he made. He was just a little bit too excited at the time. He made a mistake. What about all the times that he didn't? No one gives this kid a break. It's terrible. It's too easy to judge. Look, I'm doing something. And then there are people who are sitting in the sidelines and they're commenting. It's like you're in the boxing ring, you're fighting. Then you get some drunk slob sitting there in the front ring, and front row, and he's got something to say. Give a shit what he's got to say. He's nothing. Put your beer away. That's your job. You don't get a say. You don't matter. What matters are the people who are doing it, or people who are just decent, kind people that like to watch it. But if you're a critic, well, you probably have no snake, or you have a ball python, or you have some venomous snake and you had it 20 years ago and you think you're an expert, but you've always used a hook. So you'll tell people they don't chase people. Once it goes up the hook, you think it's chasing you, and suddenly you're twitching and flinging it and flipping it, and all of a sudden, you're a wreck, the snake's a wreck, and then you'll say, oh, I got bit, and you'll blame me. We're doing opposite things here. This takes daily training every single day. You have no idea what it takes. You don't get an opinion. I don't care anymore. I'm just sick of hearing it. I really am. 45 years, not one bite. I got bit once in the 46th year. And I really think that if you add up the math here, and I was fine. It was just a tiny bit of swelling. I'm just honest about it. I really think that if you really look at it objectively, that you have to concede that there is the potential for a relationship with these animals. I've proven it over and over every single day. Holding 4, 5, 6 rattlesnakes, boom slings, cobras. I'm sick of people saying that I'm getting lucky. And this ain't about me. It's about this this bond you can form with them. Don't tell me this isn't real. I'm looking at him. Don't tell me he's not happy. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. Just look at him. You don't see a snake that is, if nothing else, unafraid. You don't see that. You don't see a little baby that's starting out in the right way. You don't see that. You see a vicious animal still because you got bit. No, get over yourself, man. Just look at it for what it is. Try to be dispassionate about it. Be impartial. I'm just sick of hearing people who are insecure, because if what I'm saying is true, then suddenly they no longer have the competence they thought that they did, nor the confidence. So if you're holding a hook and you consider yourself a handler and you have no real interaction with these snakes, you've never even touched one, you're scared of your own pets, well, don't tell me what's what. I really don't want to hear it. Don't talk about the proper equipment. I have all the proper equipment, but there's also proper time for everything. And if you're unwilling to do anything but use your proper equipment, well, when this happens, like when the snake comes towards you, you're going to assume that you're about to die. And you're going to trip out. And it's going to be still on the hook. And then the snake gets hurt, agitated, bites, all these things. And then you blame me. It's enough. It's enough. You read 200 comments a day from people telling you to die, wishing that you get bit, wishing the worst thing for you in the world. And after a while, you just get sick of it. It's enough. I'm answering now. And my answer is that it's not a coincidence that they do have the potential for something much more than just aggression, that these other accusations are nonsense, that it's inevitable, that they're going to bite, that they're trying to bite, that they're chasing me. All these things are crazy. Look at him. You look at him and you tell me that there is not a potential for love with these animals. You should see the vile garbage I have to read every day. And mostly from people who, well, not mostly, totally from people. No one else has done this. There's no one else who does it like me. Honestly, there's none. I'm just being honest. It's not bragging if it's honest. So I don't want to hear comments from people who can't do it. If you ride your bicycle down the road, good for you. If the guy next to you is doing wheelies and you can't, then it's time to shut up. You don't get to criticize him. You drive around in your car, good. Enjoy your car. If someone's driving in NASCAR, though, you don't get a say. You're not at the same level. You don't understand. You're at a much, much lower level. And that's all good. That's fine. But the problem is you're lowering the snake's level. You're making it so the snake is unhappy. And you're making it so that you and the snake, that relationship is just meaningless. There is none. You're scared of them. You take them out just when it's necessary to clean the tank. It's not enough. It's not enough. They're going to be living in fear all the time. It's not right. Look, to each his own. But there are levels of this stuff. And it's not just a question of doing what's comfortable for you. That's an easy cop-out. It's a question of doing what's comfortable for them. And what's comfortable for them is when you're comfortable with them. And then, like I always say, this magic can begin. Right? So it takes time, it takes work. Look, even here, he's still hurt up a little bit, right? But there's ways to chill him out and to desensitize him and to get him used to touch. But if you're afraid to touch him in any way, that's not going to happen. He's making a funny face. You're very cute. And he will eventually hood down. They're always a little bit hooded up anyway, if you really look at them. But I didn't mean to be rude to anybody. I just really felt like I had to say that. There comes a point where it's just enough. It's just this constant thing. And there's so many followers now on so many social media platforms that, it just gets crazy. And then there's people who defend me that I don't even know. And that's nice. I appreciate it. But I don't want people to get in fights with these crazies, I really don't. I don't want to cast any more light on their shade. So this is my answer. Otherwise, I see it. I read the first 3 words. I can tell what it's going to say. And I just ban the person. That's it. Hide user. Never see him again. End the story. But that's where I stand. And he's with me. Fudge is right there with me. Right, buddy? Look at this face. All right. Thanks for listening to my little diatribe there.